Hey guys, it's Alberto Ares here. I wanted to talk to you about the importance of designing a sales process, which is indeed step 7 of our revenue builder program. Why do you want to have a sales process? Let me tell you a short story about how surgeons in the UK managed to reduce mortality by 50% just by implementing a very simple checklist. Very simple questions in a sheet of paper, such as, is this the right patient? Is this the right leg? And so on. Very simple. Just by implementing this thing, they managed to reduce mistakes and reduce that mortality, as I mentioned before, by 50%. Now, if you think of a surgeon, right, some of the people most educated, and they have practice and they've been studying these things for years, and they still make these silly mistakes that cause deaths of patients, right? So if you think that someone like a surgeon can make those mistakes, most likely you also agree that our salespeople are also likely to make these mistakes themselves. And so the reason why you want to have a sales process is because you want to have that checklist to stop killing deals in the same fashion that surgeons stopped killing patients. Hopefully that makes sense. So basically the problem today could be, or it's definitely happened to me in the past, that perhaps I wasn't too sure of where my opportunities were in the sales cycle. Was I halfway through it? Was I about to close the deal? Difficult to tell. And maybe you don't know exactly what is it that you need to do to progress that opportunity, or how to do that thing, or have a list of things, a checklist to remind you to do those things. And the problem is, if you continue doing this for too long, you could get to a situation where you kill that deal. But there's also a possibility where you could know exactly where those opportunities are and even be able to put a quantity and a probability against it, where you know exactly what the next step is, the next best action that you need to be doing to progress that opportunity. And a reminder of how to do those things, right? So that you can be consistent on how you implement. And a way for you to keep track of all the things that you had to do and make sure that you've done them and avoid making the costly mistakes that I mentioned before. And so by doing these things, effectively what you're doing is to progress your opportunities in the most effective and efficient way. And this is indeed what we talk about in step 7 of our revenue builder process, where we to take you from a place where you aren't sure of where your opportunities are and how to progress them, to a place where you know what the next best action is and you have actually completed those actions. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that adds value. If you want to learn more about this process or this particular step, please reply, engage, and I'll share with you the details.